The Simpsons predicted even this. Yesterday, the largest protests in US history took place in the nation's capital due to the president's policies and an economic crisis that could arrive very soon. It seems these protests could become a turning point in American history, and it's frightening because this exact scenario was shown in The Simpsons 8 years ago. Let's recall the 2017 episode titled "The Man Who Taxed the World." In the plot, a billionaire president resembling Trump decides that trade wars are fun. At a press conference, he spins a globe, points at random countries, and shouts, "Tariff, tariff, and a tariff for you too." He imposes tariffs on everyone, including closest allies and even Antarctica, for exporting air that's too cold. The global economy immediately collapses. In Springfield, all stores close except for Apu's, which now only sells expired goods. The treasury runs dry, against the backdrop of mass protests, where Homer carries a sign reading, "Bring back my imported beer." The president realizes the country has gone bankrupt. In the final scene, he secretly escapes from the White House in a golden helicopter, throwing down worthless stacks of cash. Interesting. How could The Simpsons have already known this? The Simpsons even predicted this. Just recently, New York elected a new mayor, Mamdani. He's known for being both Muslim and socialist, and for the first time in US history, New York has chosen such a left-wing leader. Naturally, a conflict with Donald Trump arose almost immediately. Amazingly, this exact scenario appeared in The Simpsons 15 years ago. Let's recall the 2010 episode. Lisa Simpson, who has become president, is dealing with the aftermath of her predecessor's administration, Donald Trump's. In one scene, she holds an emergency meeting, and the mayor of New York City joins via video call. The character looks strikingly similar to Mamdani, dark-skinned, wearing glasses with a short beard. He fiercely argues with Trump's hologram, who demands the city return federal subsidies and threatens to build a wall around Manhattan and make tourists pay to enter. The cartoon mayor, like the real Mamdani, accuses Trump of political blackmail and playing on people's fears. The resemblance goes beyond appearance. It's in the rhetoric, in the nature of the conflict itself, a progressive city leader versus a conservative federal opponent. Lines spoken in that old episode are now being quoted word for word in today's news. It really makes you wonder, how did The Simpsons already know? The Simpsons predicted even this. Yesterday in America, they stopped minting coins that had been produced for over 200 years. It became unprofitable, and now they're taking away our regular coins. It's frightening, because this exact scenario was predicted in The Simpsons 8 years ago. Let's recall the 2017 episode titled "Springfield's Last Cent." In the plot, Mayor Quimby, trying to save the budget, announces the end of coin production. At first, nobody pays attention, everyone uses cards. But after Bart accidentally causes a citywide power outage, all electronic payments stop working. Cash becomes the only way to pay. But without coins, it's impossible to make change. Chaos erupts in Springfield. The value of dollar bills plummets. The town descends into a barter economy. We see a scene where Homer tries to buy Duff beer at Moe's Tavern. Moe refuses to take his dollar and demands something useful. Homer ends up trading a squirrel pelt for his beer. At the Quickie Mart, Apu hangs up a sign, "Barter only," and exchanges squishies for raccoon pelts. Interesting. How could The Simpsons have already known this? The Simpsons predicted even this. In America, the longest government shutdown in US history just ended. The entire country was completely paralyzed for over 40 days. Hundreds of thousands of people lost their jobs due to problems in the government. But what's even more surprising is that 9 years ago, this exact scenario was already shown in The Simpsons. Let's take a look at the 2016 episode titled "The Day Springfield Stood Still." In the plot, due to a budget dispute between Mayor Quimby and Springfield Republicans, the entire city government shuts down, schools close, garbage isn't collected, and Homer, as a safety inspector at the nuclear power plant, which is federally regulated, finds himself on unpaid leave. In one scene, Kent Brockman reports from in front of burning mountains of trash, while a ticker runs across the bottom of the screen. Day 42, government still not working. We recommend using raccoons as mail carriers. The parallels are simply stunning. The cartoon shows laid-off government workers standing in line for free soup, and chaos on the roads because traffic lights aren't working. All of this painfully resembles the real footage we saw just recently. The duration, mass layoffs, infrastructure collapse, everything was predicted with frightening accuracy. Interesting. How could The Simpsons have already known this?